This is 1360 AM. WNJC, Washington Township, Philadelphia. Philadelphia's Renaissance radio station. Brought to you from Forsyth Broadcasting. Or listen to us at WNJCradio.com.
Okay, everyone, it's time to put on your listening ears, thinking caps, and laughing shoes. It's time for the Doc and Amy Show, with your sweethearts of the airwaves who agree to disagree. Well, sometimes. Take it away, Doc and Amy.
Do you feel blame?
No.
Clear image?
Oh, yeah.
Are you mad?
Uh-huh.
Do you feel like Woods Bob Referendus? Get fed.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
What
kind of crap?
Okay, well, thank you so much, Charles Manson, for bringing us into another hour of the Doc and Amy Show. Thank you, Amy. That was well done.
Well, thanks.
Well, you know, I'm sure it was bound to happen sometime.
Oh.
Anyway.
He is people.
I am people.
Who are listening out there.
I am people who love people.
He is in rare form today. Seriously, he's insane today. So just have fun.
We have trick-or-treaters. What's going on?
Yeah.
Anyway, I just looked out the studio window, and someone is out there flashing us, I think. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. I don't have my glasses on. I just saw what resembled a human being. Welcome to the Doc and Amy Show. We are coming
Doc and Amy.
We are coming at you from the... Will you just let me finish? Coming at you from WNJC Radio. And you can stream us. You can also join us at 856-227-1360. We have an exciting guest today. We'll get more into that. You can follow us on our website, www.thedocandamyshow.com. You can tweet us at Doc and Amy Show. You can send us packages full of money, whatever you like to do.
Happy.
What was that?
It was Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Since we have trick-or-treaters.
It was Flasher. See what you can find for that.
Flasher? I don't think flashers make a lot of sounds.
It's the screaming. Today we have a guest, as I mentioned. It's I'll just let the cat out of the bag right now. It's Dr. Robert Slay. Jesus. Colonel Robert Slay, MD. He's a practicing emergency medicine specialist. He's also board certified in internal medicine. He is, in addition, a stand-up comic who performs online in places like as a Funny ER doctor. You might have seen him on Funny or Die. Also, he was a featured physician on Untold Stories of the ER and has published a book, which we will be talking about, called The Battle Buddy Diet. So we will be talking with him shortly.
Just a question, it's called Untold Stories of the ER.
And they tell them anyway.
Right. So why are they untold? They're told. I mean, I'm not trying to be smart.
Previous to that point, they had...
Then they should call it previously up until this point...
Untold Stories
of the ER, if they want to be correct.
Or you could just watch Duck Dynasty.
So you on that too?
So thank you for that. We have she's our staff grammarian, so I don't know. So no, she's throwing me off whack.
Good, that's what I was trying to do.
We always do some traditional things at the Doc and Amy Show, and one of those things is, and this is something I always look so forward to, and Amy should be too because she's winning at this point, is the
barely
two people, one quote, and what that is, Amy provides a quote, and she prevails upon John, giving him two potential authors for that quote to see if he can choose the correct one. Amy is up 2 games.
Or 1 or 2?
2, I believe.
It doesn't really matter.
Yes, two games. Correct? Am I right?
I believe so, yeah.
All right. Okay, so you're outnumbered. Bless you.
Sorry. I was trying to hold it in.
Would you step on
I
a
must have
fat
been
toy over
making
there?
weird faces. I was trying so hard to hold
notice.
it in.
Anyway, so now that we've gotten that out of the way and everyone's infected, 2 people, 1 quote is an ongoing little extravaganza here at the Doc and Amy Show.
Extravaganza.
It is. There are trumpets and everything.
And there's can dancers, too.
That's why
they always have can dancers in extravaganza.
What kind of drugs are you taking?
You made me crazy on the way over here.
The package.
He was purposely doing stuff like swerving onto bumps in the road. And then we're sitting there at a light, and he's got a Kia Sportage, not exactly like...
Sportage.
Yeah, Sportage. And he's sitting there with one foot on the brake and one on the gas, going, vroom, vroom, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Making it lurch at this stop.
No, and then he's bouncing up and down, and then he almost pretended like he almost missed the turn to the station. He was just purposely.
Well, you see, with you in the passenger seat, when I make it lurch like that, all kinds of really bouncy things happen.
Oh my God! Really?
Yes, I'm not an
What are you,
idiot.
Dr. Dre? You going to pump up the suspension next?
I'm more like Dr. Seuss, really. But anyway, I can never.
We can't even have a normal car ride with you.
That's why people enjoy it so much.
And what
It's
other
fun.
people are riding in the car with you? May I ask?
I pick up hitchhikers, collect their e-ticket, and take them on a ride.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyway, so as I was saying,
I'm just purposely trying to annoy you. It worked.
Two people, one quote is an ongoing game, and we're going to, if Amy doesn't start chattering at some other non sequitur, we will try to get to that. And John, how are you doing, John?
Doing great.
Are you up for this again this week?
I am excited.
What if he said no?
Then we
That's
just,
why you don't ask.
Then we just take our toys and go home, I guess. I don't know. So John is going to be competing again, and it's going to be a WNJC production against Amy, who is currently...
That doesn't seem very fair.
Well, you know what? I don't know.
Like multisyllabic against little old me.
You just said multisyllabic. You kind of tipped your hand. Anyway, let's get through with this. Good God. And move on to the game. I'm going to give it over to Amy so she can just chatter away nonstop.
Oh, goodness. Okay, here we go. Two people, one quote. First quote. Meteorologists say 90% of the Great Lakes are frozen over. People from Chicago are being urged to stay off the frozen lakes. But if you want to see someone from Chicago in thin ice, just go to the White House. Was that Craig Ferguson or Jon Stewart?
I'm going to say Jon Stewart.
It was actually Craig Ferguson. But it did sound like Jon Stewart.
Yeah. No, it sounded
Which
like
is
you.
why I picked Jon Stewart.
Okay, so...
jeez. Okay. I love this one.
Wait a minute. You mismarked that, didn't you?
No, I did. Oh, I gave John a point instead of myself.
That's why I usually do this.
Okay. Yeah, but you weren't prepared today, so somebody's got to pick up the slack.
At least, okay, I was mentally up to it. Go ahead.
Okay. Second quote. I love this one. Fatherhood is great because you can ruin someone from scratch. Was it Jimmy Kimmel or Jon Stewart?
Jimmy Kimmel.
It was actually Jon Stewart.
Oh, Amy
I
is
kind of tricked
jumping.
you on that one because I found it. I looked for old Jon Stewart quotes.
Yeah.
And just to mix it up. And I knew Jimmy Kimmel just had a baby. And I'm like, oh, I bet he's going to pick Jimmy Kimmel. So that was, I feel kind of mean that I did that. But anyway, okay. I don't feel that mean.
Boy, you make Dr. Joyce Brothers look like a fire hydrant. That was brilliant, darling.
Okay, here we go.
So Amy's up 2-1. So
Okay.
free keeping track, yes.
He'll probably win. One of the worst days in high school was taking the SATs because that determined your future. Low SAT scores can haunt you for the rest of your life. It happened to me. That's why I didn't get the Tonight Show. Was it David Letterman or Jimmy Kimmel?
Jimmy Kimmel.
It was actually David Letterman.
Oh, my God. Amy just is making a sweep of this today, John.
Wow, that's a miracle. No,
I'm kind of disappointed, really,
I
John.
am upset.
Wow. Did you get enough sleep? Or?
Well, we lost an hour, so.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Well,
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's in your favor anyway, so we'll just...
Yeah, exactly. Well, I lost an hour's sleep, too. The heck's that? Okay, anyway. Russia is denying that they censored Jared Leto's, is it Leto? Jared Leto's Oscars acceptance speech. Russia said they would never disrespect such a pretty girl. Was it Conan O'Brien or Jimmy Fallon?
I'm going to say Jimmy Fallon.
It was actually Conan.
Oh, my God. This may be a shutout.
I worked on getting these so I would trick him today. I feel kind of bad.
Have you had a shutout yet?
I've been shut out once before.
I think
Have you?
one
Yeah,
time.
one time.
And he shut me out once too, I think.
Yeah. And so did Robert. So this is like a really...
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
last one.
One more. Morgan Freeman told the Huffington Post that if he met an alien, he would ask, "Is there a God in your society?" Then he added, "And if so, could I play him?" Was it Jimmy Fallon or Seth Meyers?
Jimmy Fallon.
Okay. You were wrong.
Oh my God, it's a shutout.
Believe it. Those were good quotes, though. I love the fatherhood is great because what are you doing?
Hello.
Oh, Doc's taking a call on the air. Is this Dr. Slay?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, I think we might have to call Dr. Slay from our studio line.
Actually, we're live on the air. And, we will be calling you momentarily.
There we go. See? He's right on the ball, though. It's like right
You're
5'10".
live on the air right now.
Yeah.
It's just that no one can hear you. Here in a moment, John will be making contact with you, and we will enjoy speaking with you.
He said he was sorry. We forgive him.
I recognize the
funny.
number. Yes. Well, he's anxious to be on the Doc and Amy show.
Well, apparently,
yes.
that's good. At least somebody is. He's more anxious than I am.
So you can see what a traditionalist I am. My phone rings like a phone.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Well, what's up with it?
I'm
turning it off right now.
I turned mine off this week.
I almost always do.
I never get a call during the show, and the one time I did, my phone rang.
Well, guess what? It happened to me. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, Colonel Dr. Robert Slay, is it Colonel Colonel Robert Slay, MD?
Dr. Colonel, I think.
We'll find out. Is on with us, and very funny man, written a book, and we're going to get into all that. Are you with us, Dr. Slay?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. I was very... I enjoyed that you are so anxious to be on the Doc and Amy show that we've gotten to speak with you twice in the last minute.
Is it
like
Doc?
You are when you walk in that ER, very anxious.
Exactly. Yes.
Is it Dr. Colonel or Colonel Doctor?
It depends. I wish I was still the colonel when I work now in the ER. I can't issue orders anymore. Nurses are kind of like a bad marriage. We don't pay them, we don't rate them, so they do what they want to do, and we kind of ask them, honey, would you please do this? It doesn't really work that well as the colonel anymore.
Yeah. Yes.
Old colonels die hard, so.
That's right.
And why is Colonel spelled with an L? I never got that either.
It's a French word is what I'm guessing. I never knew that, and it took me several years to learn to spell it. I had to get to be a colonel before I could actually spell it.
Yeah, it's really odd.
Did it upset you
Very
that
strange.
Did it upset you that
the ER, and I know Amy, you and Doc have probably been to the ER. Am I right about that?
Well, I used to actually run an ER in the Navy. I was an autonomous clinician, or what they called an independent duty corpsman. So,
oh, really?
Yes,
wow! You're the mainstay of. That's when we had the same thing in the Army. We didn't call him corpsman, but that's the guy that did all the work.
Yeah, basically, there was no doctor on board, so they were at my mercy. So.
I would be assigned to the ER in the Army, and I would come in there and go to sleep. I'd wake up in the morning, and my corpsman would say, "Sir, you saw 15 people last night. Sign here."
Sign these. Yes,
fine.
exactly.
Thank
right.
you.
Yeah,
that's the way it used to work. That's no longer the case now.
No,
I call the ER the trailway station of medicine, and the only requirement for getting seen in the ER in the United States is to be a homo sapien. That's the only requirement.
Or a homeless sapien.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of them are.
Yes.
And you can bite me, spit on me, call me names, and I still have to give you complete medical care. You can sue me also. It doesn't make any difference. But that's just the way it is. So ERs are, we get a little something for everybody there. I tell people when you go, bring your iPad, because we do have wireless, but pay attention because there's a lot of drama going on around you. If you just keep your eyes open, you will see some amazing things, many of which are funny.
Yes. I used to go home and my ex would ask me how my day was, and finally I got full of that, and I would just come home and say, I've never seen so much pus. And the question stopped after a while.
Well, you think you've seen it all, but you really haven't. I've been doing this now for 42 years, and I think I've seen it all, and I go in there, and I'm still amazed at what I see.
Oh, yes.
I'll give your listeners and you guys a couple of heads up on what happens in the ER, how we evaluate you, the patient. When you come in there, we give you what we call the gown IQ test. And this is after you undergo this procedure called triage. That's where we decide if you're sick enough to be seen or not.
Right.
The nurse will ask you my favorite question, what seems to be the problem? It seems like there's a spear in my chest. It seems like there's an elephant standing on my chest. I can't breathe. I have impending doom. Really? Well, what medicines are you on? What are you allergic to? And what was your birth weight? I'm not going to let you back there until they're sure you're really sick. Once they do, they will take you to the care area, and they will take you back, and they'll pull a little curtain back, and they'll say, take off all of your clothes, and they throw the gown down. Put this gown on with the opening to the back. 50% of the people are going to put the opening to the front. And when you do that, we will have a look at what you're trying to show us. In many cases, it's not very gratifying for either party. We will have a look at what you're trying to show us, and we will drop your IQ by 20 points if you put the opening onto the front.
Right, and that's an ongoing score as you go through the treatment process. Your IQ will fluctuate depending on how you act and what your answers are.
Absolutely, and if you're a male and you can get that gown on and you can tie all 3 ties in the back, you're either a chef or you're suspect. You're certainly not sick enough to be in the ER. Let's put it that way.
That's right. I was
use that as a little gauge there.
That's right. I just show up naked.
The other thing that's interesting about doctors is, and you may know this phrase. I call it doctor speak. When the doctor tells you, you're going to feel a little pressure now, Doc.
Yep.
Especially if he's working below your waist as a male, but it applies to everybody in the ER. You're going to feel a little pressure now. What that actually means is you're going to feel pain that is so intense that you're going to become sweaty, nauseated. You're going to see bright white light. You're going to see Buddha and Jesus together at the same time, and you're going to say, take me now, take me now. That's the kind of pressure they're talking about. That's called real pain. So I don't do that. I tell them you're going to feel a little pain now, not a little pressure.
Right. That's in my stand-up, I go through a few bits about, having been a part of the medical department. And I did go into the emergency room one time. I was in intense pain. And it was when the assessment was new, where they'd say rate your pain on a scale of 1 to 10.
Right.
And basically, when the doctor asked me,
what number did you pick? 11.
I didn't even. I to begin with, I just leaned back and kicked the doctor in the scrotum. And I said, that would be a 2. I'm having an 8. Crawl out there and get us some Demerol. I didn't come here for the math. So that seemed to work without having to assign a number to it, right off the bat.
Yeah, I tell them a 10 is slamming your hand in a car door. That's a 10. But it's amazing, the drug seekers will have horrible pain. The guy the other day comes in, and one of the usual ruses to get the medicine is dental pain. And, of course, they all have horrible carious teeth and missing teeth and everything. So I go in the room, the guy's been waiting, I open the door, and he's standing there with the otoscope, the ear looker machine, in his ear, up against the mirror there on the wall, trying to look in his ear when I come in the door.
Oh, my
I said, what's going on? He goes, oh. He starts grabbing his mouth. Oh, I got terrible pain. And I always tell him, he says, what drug is it they gave you last time? Well, doctor, it was Vica, start with a V. Vica something. You mean Vicodin? Yes, Vicodin. Well, I'm not going to give you your Vicodin. Well, what am I going to do, doctor? How am I going to get it? You're going to go out to the back of the parking lot here where there's a guy with a starter jacket on riding a bicycle out there. Vicodin for you. He doesn't take insurance, and he only takes cash. And take it from me. Do not give him the money till you see the drug. Don't ask me how I know that, but I know that. So good luck with that. Get out there. Sorry your health plan doesn't cover that, but you can get your Vicodin from that guy.
Lots of things are there.
That's another common thing we deal with.
Yeah.
I'm sure you in your ER experience you saw the same thing.
Oh yeah, there were seekers all over the place, and then we got the ones who had already had copious amounts of drugs who decided to come in and visit and try to figure out. We'd have to figure out what orbit they were in.
Usually on weekends because it's time to party. You got to get your party drugs before you can get started. So they come in on Friday, usually Friday evening, Saturday night, to get reloaded with the drugs. And many of them will have MRIs and everything with them. Some of them are very slick and very professional.
Yeah.
And I can't cure drug addiction, so many cases I just say, you know what? It's party time. Here's your prescription. Now please leave.
Just go.
Because sometimes you just can't deal with it.
Well, we had
the other thing that I love with doctors is, and I've had this experience. If you've ever had surgery, you go to the surgeon and he says, and you say, doctor, when I have this operation, is there going to be a lot of pain or suffering and everything? In my experience, there's little pain. And people return to work almost immediately. Very little pain. It's a very non-painful situation. Very minimal pain. In your experience, well, that isn't what my friend said that you operated on. She said it was horrible pain and she couldn't move for 3 days and was throwing up all the time. No. In my experience, that's an exception. What is your experience, doctor? Well, I've had over 100 patients. Wah. Did you ever have the operation? Well, no, I never had the operation. I see.
Right. You would have to say when he gives you all those symptoms from his friends, say, that's what I was saying. That was her experience. Mine was just fine. I went home.
Now, if a male
He never had the
OBGYN...
operation, so that's what he's telling you from.
Yeah.
The other thing that's really strange about the ER, and Amy probably can relate to this, men will not come to the ER almost never unless forced by their concerned other, i.e. their wife or domestic partner. There's only two reasons that men will come of their own volition to the ER. 80% of the ER business, voluntary ER business, are women. Sometimes you're scooped up by an ambulance, you have no choice. But in general, men will only come for two reasons. And I'll give you the first one. The first one is something in the guy's eye.
True, very true.
He will come for that. But what is the second reason? Let's see if you can guess. That he'll come of his own volition without being nagged or blackmailed to come. What will he come for?
Would that be something in the other end?
As a corpsman, he's getting to the area there.
Yeah, it's
below the
VD.
waist.
Yeah.
Any guesses, Amy?
Yeah, probably VD. Using of the...
Oh, God, no. They'll stay out with VD. As a corpsman, he knows that.
Well, yeah,
come in
we
with
just...
things that look like a kielbasa that went through the blender.
Yeah, it's
and they
like...
don't come in with that. No.
Yeah,
Won't
put
come
that
in with
asparagus
that.
away.
It
I don't need
looks
to
kinda
see
messy,
that.
But
Yeah.
I thought I'd put some salve on there. Nope, won't come in with that. They'll stay home with heart attacks.
Yeah.
I've even had men get paralyzed on one side of their body and put a sling on and use their wife's walker and won't come in.
Oh, my gosh.
They won't come in for practically anything. One of the guesses most people make is the prolonged erection from Viagra. If it goes longer than 4 hours, you're supposed to call your doctor. So I do get those calls every now and then. I always say, put your wife on the phone. I say, you know what? We got to do something about this or you're going to get cystitis. We got to get rid of that heated towel rack right now because you're going to get cystitis. But no, they won't come in for that. The wife's the one who calls about that because she's the one concerned about that.
Get rid of this. Yeah.
Quick.
No, they won't. So they sometimes will send me an Instagram with a problem too. That's interesting.
Oh, my gosh.
Anyway, no, the other reason is if they cannot pee, they will come in.
That's right.
Men. That's the only other reason. Kidney stones, pretty much 80% will come in for that. If you ever had one of those, that generally gets their attention. Mm-hmm. But not all of them will even come in for that. I mean, it's amazing. I saw a man not too long ago that came in, and he had a large black fungating tumor on his anterior chest that was beginning to eat into the chest wall. Obviously some kind of cancer. I said, sir, how long have you had that? Been there about, 6 months. Well, what did you do about it? Well, I put aloe up on there, and, we let the dog lick it and everything. And then Nadine saw it, and she said, I think you better go get it looked at. And then they finally come in because the wife finally made him come. But he wouldn't come otherwise.
Yeah, that gold bond is only good to a certain extent, and then you have to seek professional help.
Exactly. So that's kind of the genesis of this book I wrote, is that my wife, who is a cardiac anesthesiologist, hands-on hips, little Irish girl.
I got one of those too.
That type of a wife came home one day and she said, this was about 10 years ago. You know something, Bob? You're fat. I said, no, I'm not fat. I'm husky. I'm an athlete. I'm not fat. At that time, I'm about 5'9". Men lie about their height. I always subtract 2 inches in the ER. I'm about 5'9", and I'd gotten up to 232 pounds with a 44-inch waist. And I said, I'm not. I look in that mirror in the morning just like you do, Doc. Suck my stomach in. It's kind of cloudy, kind of foggy in there. Suck my stomach in, pump my chest out, and say, I don't look so bad. I'm better looking, not as fat as some guys at work. Pretty good. So I thought, I'm not that fat. I'm just husky. Besides, graceful aging means that you gain weight. According to Dr. Weil and other people, it's just part of aging. So I didn't think so. And she pointed out that my BMI, the body mass index, was off the roof, and it did say obesity. The World Health Organization called me obese. And I started looking into it, and I found out that if you're a male sitting there right now, and your listening audience are sitting there, Doc, and your waist is greater than 40 inches, or you're female and it's greater than 36 inches, it's essentially the same as you having cancer. You're going to die 18 to 20, you should. You're going to develop one of 39 diseases, including 5 kinds of cancer because of the abdominal obesity. sleep apnea, hypertension, hyperlipidemia, diabetes. It goes on and on. Colon, breast, ovary, prostate, lung, and uterine cancers, all related to abdominal obesity. It causes inflammation in the body. So I read the literature, and this scared me a little bit. I'm in the doctor's lounge with the other doctors. We're putting on our scrub suits, and they're color-coded. The drawstrings are color-coded. So the green drawstrings are the smalls, the yellows are mediums, the reds are large, the blacks are triple large. And so we're all moving up the string colors here. I'm now up at the triple black. And we're saying, damn, they're making these things smaller and smaller here. Not putting any more material in them. We're all sitting there getting fat. And I'm looking down at my string. It looks like a tether from the Hindenburg there. And so I knew it was time to do something. So we researched the literature, and there's a fabulous documentary. If you guys haven't seen it, you need to see it. It's called Forks Over Knives. You ever heard of that one?
No, I have not.
Forks Over Knives is a Netflix available thing. It's the most popular documentary on health out there right now, but you need to watch it tonight together. It's amazing. It's Dr. Campbell, who is the author of the China study that links diet with risk for cancer, heart attack, and stroke, and epidemiologically, unequivocally proves it. And then the other one is Dr. Esselstyn. Dr. Esselstyn is the guy who's Clinton's doctor from the Cleveland Clinic, who got Clinton looking all skinny and everything. You've seen him lately, right?
Yeah, he
looks good.
Much improved.
Yeah,
Hillary went
I think I look real good. Harris says I look good. I know I look good.
compared to Hillary, everything looks good.
Hillary's got her issues. I got mine. I don't support that DNA research. I'll tell you that. Damn that DNA stuff. Anyway, so it's all about inflammation. And the other thing that can happen is people that are skinny, and you'll see these people that are skinny, and they still develop cancer, and that's because they're eating processed foods. That means man-made foods.
Oh, boy.
I love Doritos, Cheetos, and those things are absolutely man-made, and they're absolutely killers. In the book, I have 12 lethal foods, and if you avoid those 12 lethal foods, and I ask couples to do this together for just 4 weeks, you make a pledge that we're going to go off all these foods. You got to get rid of all the catches of the food, both in your house and at work and in the car and everywhere else you have them hidden. Get rid of all those nasty foods, and then just stick to beans, greens, grains, leafy vegetables, and fish. And there's a lot of variety there and a lot of good food you can eat.
Absolutely.
If you just do that, sleep 8 hours a night, and do some exercise, which is mainly just walking. You don't have to do a lot. You will lose 12 to 15 pounds the first month. The important part of that is, though, that your men will lose 2 inches off their waist the first month. Women will drop 2 dress sizes the first month. Guaranteed. No calorie counting. Because what you're really doing is you're changing what you're going to eat for life. And that will reverse disease, reverse the metabolic syndrome. When I got my weight down to what it is now, which is 176, all of the prediabetes I had, all the hypertension, hyperlipidemia, beginning of sleep apnea, everything went away. And my wife had the same experience. She went from a size, I'm not allowed to say her size on the air, size 14, to a size 2. Which is where she is right now, back at the weight she was when she was married. So, and the main thing about all that is the inflammatory markers, the tendency to get these diseases and cancers all goes down. If you notice the skinny little men and skinny little women who are running around 90-something years old, they're all skinny and they're kind of alert and they're kind of spry. And I used to think, gee, if you live long enough, you're going to lose your taste for food and you're going to get skinny like they are. Wrong. All the fat guys are dead. That's why they're all the skinny guys left.
They just have to dig bigger holes.
That's how it actually works.
Well, we cook all of our food from scratch. We eat lots of very little red meat, but I'm a big steak guy. But we don't. Amy doesn't eat red meat, so we eat lots of beans, lots of grains, lots of green leafy vegetables, fruits, things like that. Not too many, snacks that like wheat thins, things like that. We eat. So
we rarely eat fast food.
Yeah.
That's
I don't buy frozen dinners.
That's worthwhile. I don't eat anything with hair, eyes, and a mother. I don't eat anything with hair, feathers, and a mother either. The exception is if it's actually really grass-fed or free-range, then you can eat it. The reason is the mammal meat that we get, these poor cows never see a blade of grass. They're in those little pens. They raise them within 3.5 months. They slaughter them. And they have omega-6 in them instead of omega-3s.
Right.
Omega-3s are in the salmon. It's been shown that women in Scandinavia who eat salmon once or twice a week have 1,000 times the chance of not dying suddenly just from doing that alone. Their chance of survival goes up 1,000-fold just from doing that. And as you may know, Amy, heart disease in women now is like 4 to 1 over men.
Yeah.
It's no longer...
Hello? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Everything went
lost
blank
you.
there for a second.
Yeah, I haven't eaten meat since I was a teenager. I don't eat pork either. We eat poultry, and I love fish. And like I said, we don't. We rarely eat fast food. We cook everything homemade. I don't buy frozen dinners or anything like that, or like the Uncle Ben's rice side dishes. I might have one in the house in case we have a night that we have to rush or something, but we pretty much make everything from scratch, and we eat. I mean, could we each use to lose 10 pounds? Yeah, we could, but at least I would like to.
Well,
but
I just
it's not really the vanity factor here. It's really if you watch that Forks Over Knives, you'll see amazing case studies there. Because what happens is, and we used to be taught that, if you eat these bad things, like let's just say mammal meat, for example, steak, and I like steak, don't get me wrong, but if you eat that, we know that within minutes of eating the meal, the inflammation in your arteries goes up, your blood pressure goes up, the stress on your arteries goes up within minutes and lasts for hours. And what actually is happening is it's not the plaque building up in your arteries. They used to teach us, it's kind of like your pipes getting scale. It blocks the circulation of coronary arteries. That's absolutely wrong. What really happens is these bad fats, these omega-6s and sugar's another culprit, cause inflammation. Think of a pimple inside the lining of your arteries. That's what it's really like.
Ouch.
It causes this unstable pimple in there. And then when the pimple ruptures, it actually has white cells there. It's like a pimple. When it ruptures, it causes blood clot, and that's what causes the heart attack and stroke. It's not really the blockage anymore. It's the pimple. And that's why women aren't very treatable. We can't do bypasses on women very well at all because they're not like that at all. They have diffuse disease all over their arteries. And so eating any of that inflammatory food, I think, is a mistake. You'll find out if you go off of it, you'll have more energy, you'll have more interest in each other. I call it the Mako syndrome. It's the middle-aged couple obesity syndrome, where you're sitting there watching the tube, eating chips, even wheat thins, anything with flour you should not eat. That's one of the 12 lethal foods. Flour and simple carbohydrates. One white potato eaten raises your blood sugar faster than if you drink a glass of sugar water. Faster. So you go to yams now. You don't eat that anymore. You don't eat rice. You now eat quinoa. Have you had any quinoa?
Oh, yes.
I make quinoa. My oldest son's actually a really good eater, but he does not like quinoa. I love it. And I like wheat berries, too. I like to cook them up.
Yeah, wheat berries are good.
Barley.
Any kind of berry is good also.
Yeah.
Berries are fabulous. They're antioxidants. And so, what we did as a couple is we said we're going to eat just this stuff for 4 weeks. We can handle this for 4 weeks. And get those Cheetos out of the house because they're there. I'm going to find them and eat them. And so we did that, and at the end of the 4 weeks, not only the weight loss, but just feeling better. And then my numbers all went down to normal. And so, the way I look at it, with this baby boomer thing now coming, they now predict, and the other issue is childhood obesity, but they now predict that by 2030, we'll have 70% of the population of the United States diabetic.
That's
by 2030. Crazy. You should never eat sugar, ever. You should never drink cow's milk. I'm telling you, don't drink the milk. Arnold told me that. It is for babies. I'm telling you. It's true. You do not want to drink cow's milk. There's no reason. Read on the label of that skim milk, fat-free milk. It says an 8-ounce cup of milk has 18 grams of sugar in it. You might as well drink a Coca-Cola with regular sugar in it. So that's the thing. There's just these foods that just aren't healthy, and milk is one of them. Dairy products in general are not good for human beings. The exception being fat-free, sugar-free yogurt. You can sweeten stuff with Splenda. Splenda is very safe. People say, "Well, it's chemicals. I'm worried about chemicals." No, Splenda is
No, it
actually
isn't. Yeah.
an isomer of glucose, which means it's just got an extra hydrogen on it, but it doesn't raise your insulin level. It doesn't cause any problems, and you can sweeten up things. So for breakfast, you have your berries. You put a little whole grain cereal on there, not any sugared cereal. A little bit of almond milk or soy milk, fat free, and sprinkle a little Splenda on there, and you're in heaven.
Well, what I don't want to cover here, ruin my whole day, is we'll just leave beer out of the discussion. Okay?
Well, you should read the book. You can go online. It's BattleBuddyDiet.com, and you can read a sample. I attempt to make it a humorous account of doctor couple struggling with this. I'm like everybody else. I will eat things if they're there. I'm better at resisting the food in the nurse's lounge. You know, that radio station lounge, they got all that bad stuff back there.
Yeah, too many donuts.
Sleep is critical. If you're tired, then your levels that increase your hunger go up, and you make bad decisions. So if you're in the middle of the night there, then you see that stuff on the table, you're more likely to eat it. The sleep also is a hedge against dementia. You clean your brain out at night when you sleep, no question about it. And your resistance to your tendency to get insulin resistance or early diabetes goes down with good sleep too. The childhood thing is another issue entirely, but the kids nowadays are getting fatty livers, diabetes, hypertension. It's just sad. Honey Boo Boo is in for a real terrible life here. No question about it. Because if they're fat when they're little or heavy when they're little, they're almost doomed. They're going to die before their parents. This
and my kids, they eat a lot
sooner than their parents. It's really sad. Lunchables are lethal.
Oh yeah, that's. I would not. My kids eat a lot, but they're both very skinny. They don't even buy. Doc and I. It's weird. We were just talking about this today. They once or twice a year they'll get pizza at school, but I pack their lunch. They won't even touch it because they're used to homemade foods, and it completely grosses them out. Like they don't want canned fruit. They don't eat that kind of stuff. They want a piece of fresh fruit. They don't want a processed like those processed chicken sandwiches. They won't touch them.
Yeah, school lunch is gross.
No, they won't touch it. If they had to buy for some reason, they would just take a couple pieces of fruit and a piece of bread and butter. They wouldn't even eat that. They won't even eat chicken nuggets. They don't like that stuff because I never hot dog. You know, my oldest son won't touch them. My youngest son, he might eat one a year if we're out somewhere like at a fundraiser or something, and that's all they have. But I don't buy them. And
well, I've cleaned a lot of chickens because I cook a lot, and I've never found a nugget on them anyway.
Nah.
So I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, we don't. I didn't give them that stuff when they were little. If I wanted something like that, then I would just make the chicken myself. I wouldn't buy breaded processed nuggets and things. I'm not saying that we eat perfectly.
Right, and that's what a lot of parents don't do. A lot of parents just give up. I mean, and I understand that with the busy schedule, and they get them the fast food or get them the pre-made stuff. It sounds like you guys have done the right thing. And we know that if you do that, if you eat as a family and eat healthy food, those kids are way more likely to continue a healthy diet through life. I mean, there's no question about it.
And
if we don't feed them often, they're going to eat each other. That's just the way they are.
I mean, we introduce them to new things. Actually, I've been craving eggplant parm, and for some reason, Doc and I love it, but I'd never made it for the kids before, and I made it Saturday. I've just been craving. I'm like, all right, I'm making it. That's it. And my oldest son liked it. My youngest son said, "Oh, this is really good," and then he kind of struggled through the rest of it. But you know, we do introduce them to new foods and make them try it. And you know, the youngest one might fuss about some stuff, but my oldest one eats, really well.
How old are they?
10 and 13.
Wow, well you're doing great then. I applaud you as a parent. We struggled with our kids the same way, and both of mine, when they moved out of the house and went to college, smoked cigarettes and drank those coffees with all the cream and stuff in it, and drank real Cokes when they left. They did that just to pull our chain because we're two doctors. They knew that they could do that.
No.
But now that they're older and they're out of college and stuff, they've backed off of that and they're back to a healthy diet. And it's a lot of what you say. I think it's what they've been brought up eating, and they will go back to that. So I think for parents out there, don't give up.
Oh yeah,
be insistent. Don't be a short order cook and cook kids,
no.
what they want and everybody else doesn't want.
No.
The other rule is never say anything about their weight ever, especially girls, but never say anything about their weight, because that guarantees almost that you're going to create an eating disorder if you do that.
Yeah. Well, and when
example, Sounds like you're doing that.
When Amy's not around, they get lots of Benadryl, too.
Nah, stop.
Well, it's been a pleasure talking with you. Now, you're welcome to hang around with us. We do have a quiz and some commercials and things like that we're going to get to. I don't know if you have the time to hang with us or if you have other things you got to get to.
I do have time, and if anybody would like to call in or something or discuss it, I'd be more than happy to.
That would be the other thing.
BattleBuddyDiet.com. I'm also on Funny or Die as Funny ER Doctor. You can see my performance there for better or worse. I am keeping my day job. You notice that.
Well, I do have links on our website to all of that. We do we encourage folks to call in. If you have a question for Dr. Slay, you can call us at 856-227-1360. What we'd like to do right now is pause for a bit to cover some commercial activity. We will be back here in a moment with more of the Doc and Amy Show. Hey, everybody. This is Doc of the Doc and Amy Show. I just wanted to let you in on a secret of mine, CPS Computers. They've been serving the area's computer needs for over 8 years now, and when it comes to computers, they can help you out too. They have a wide variety of new PCs and laptops to choose from. They do free diagnostics, and they can repair your broken machine for you. That's CPS Computers. They're at 722 Mantua Pike at the Heights Plaza in Woodbury Heights, and they're between the Subway and the Dollar Tree. Visit them or call 856-251-1007. That's 251-1007. And be sure to tell them Doc and Amy sent you. And don't forget about CPS Computers' second location in Cinnaminson at 1204 US 130, suite number 4. They have all the same equipment, same deals, same diagnostics that you need for your computer. Give them a call, 856-829-8300. That's 829-8300. CPS Computers in Cinnaminson. Hey, if you'd like to be a guest on the Doc and Amy Show and exhibit your talent, let us know about it at www.thedocandamyshow.com, right there on the World Wide Web. That's thedocandamyshow.com. If you're an up-and-coming performer, if you have some kind of talent you'd like to showcase on our program, we'd love to have you. Just let us know, www.thedocandamyshow.com. You could be our next star. Okay, thank you for hanging with us. This is the Doc and Amy Show. You are welcome to call us at 856-227-1360. We have been talking with Dr. Robert Slay, having a really good time. He's lots of good information, and he will continue with us. I think he's still there on the line, right, Dr. Slay?
I'm here. I'm hanging.
Right, excellent. We do have kind of a tradition here on the Doc and Amy Show. Amy finds a quiz by which she tortures me for just a few minutes. Now, Dr. Slay, if you got a pencil and paper and you want to follow along with this,
well, it's going to be too hard to do that because
is this one of those that's
it's
I'll
a
do my
dynamic.
best.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
it's a dynamic quiz. So
okay, well, we'll see how this turns out. Maybe if you can see what your answer might be. I haven't seen or heard of this yet, so I have no idea what's coming.
Yeah, it's a dynamic one, so I won't be able to compare.
Okay, so what am I finding out about myself?
Okay, I thought you'd get a kick out of this one.
Oh boy,
what kind of wedding should you have?
Oh jeez,
I know. That's exactly why I picked this quiz.
Well, we do have the ring out of the way, and we have agreed that we are going to have a wedding at some point. We just haven't figured out. We haven't found a place with the laws that are lenient enough to allow us to do what we want to do. So
whatever. All right. So here's our quiz.
Okay.
Ready? The best TV couple is Monica and Chandler from Friends, Cliff and Claire Huxtable, or Carrie and Big from Sex and the City.
I would have to say Cliff and Claire. He's a doctor. We'll keep the theme going.
Okay.
But yes, they are the
Sounds
best.
good.
Yes.
Favorite book you read in high school? The Holy Bible, Lord of the Flies, The Bell Jar, Romeo and Juliet, or The Catcher in the Rye.
You're supposed to read a book in high school? A whole book? Probably Romeo and Juliet.
I knew you'd pick that.
Well, I've read it quite a few times.
What's the one thing you will not be having at your wedding? Wedding favors?
Order.
Shoes, cell phone usage, assigned seating, or a color theme?
Cell phone usage.
I every time I know what your answer is going to be.
Well, because you're a chick. You guys, that's what you guys do.
No, because I know you. Duh. Hello. And this I'm going to ask you this question, but I want to make it clear this is not your choice, that this is my decision. This is just rhetorical, just for this setting.
So you're going to answer for me?
No, you can answer, but
it's not my
you
answer.
You don't get to choose.
Hey, you know what? I'm used to this enough. It's okay.
The first thing you're installing in your dream home is a balcony pole.
A balcony pole?
Pool.
Like a brass pole, like a dancing pole? Pool. You're so from New Jersey.
I know.
Yeah.
Fireplace porch, a secret room, a backyard kitchen, or a window seat.
I'm going to say a secret room.
I knew you were going to say that.
To keep all those gold bars
I
and
had my
firearms
mouse
in.
hovering. Okay. How do you handle your first fight? Well, we haven't had one, so
Yeah,
tell
6
me
years
how
and
you'll
counting.
handle it.
It's coming soon, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Write a long letter, punch the wall, head to the bar, or give me a piece of jewelry. Actually, that isn't an answer, but or kiss and make up.
Kiss and make.
I knew you were going to say that. That's
Oh, sure you did.
I
Whatever.
had my mouse hovering over
Welcome
the
to the
answer.
Doc and Kreskin show.
Oh, shut up. Which of these movies gives you all the feels?
Excuse me?
Which of these movies gives you all the feels? I don't know what that's
I thought those were supposed to happen in the balcony.
I guess we're not cool enough. I don't know.
guess. Yeah.
Okay. Leaving Las Vegas, Forrest Gump, My Girl, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, or Titanic.
I'll go with the one I've heard of, the Titanic, I guess.
Really? Oh, I guess that
Gives me that
okay.
sinking feeling. Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever.
What's your favorite thing about summertime? Driving with the windows down, picnics with friends, family time, vacation, or backyard barbecues?
Actually, my answer is girls driving with their tops down. But I would have to say vacation.
Okay. Your ideal engagement ring looks like. Which one do you like?
That one on your hand right there.
I know. Well, so that's like this
Okay,
one.
wait a minute. Let me get my glasses on.
It's this one. You
Yeah,
got to
that would-
hurry.
that would-
okay.
yeah, that
it
would
looks
be it.
just like mine.
Yes.
The next thing you want to cross
The
off
cigar band.
The next thing you want to cross off your bucket list is road trip across the country,
Who can afford a bucket?
seeing the aurora borealis, a threesome,
I don't
climbing
know.
a mountain, or raising a child.
My bucket is empty. I pretty much do everything I want to do. But so while I can, I'll say climbing a mountain.
Oh, really? Okay.
There are enough children running around right
Okay.
now.
Do you have an unlimited budget? Who's Jing? What's that? You have an
Who's DJing?
Oh.
Yes, try to pronounce every combination of letters that you can. Yes.
I can't believe I just did that.
Oh, God.
Wow.
You have any expertise
What's
at
my
therapy there,
who
Doctor?
again? Okay, who's DJing? Questlove? You don't even know who these people are.
I don't. It's
Elijah
Woolery.
Wood? Casey Kasem?
Casey Kasem. That was probably the only name I know.
Gosh. Okay. You got a destination wedding in an exotic locale. That sounds horrible.
Well, all of that, that's the payoff.
That's horrible. That's a horrible, stupid wedding.
It was a horrible, stupid quiz.
I hate destination weddings
What did
because
you expect?
you're like, hi, you're invited to my wedding, and by the way, you have to take your vacation time to go to a place that I want to go for, and surprise, you have to pay for your own trip.
No offense about your quiz, but I've had more fun during a blood test. Okay,
Oh, stop. I hate destination weddings. This is a stupid quiz.
You
know what kind of wedding I like? The kind where you go to the courthouse. That's what I like. Does that sound good?
Well, it beats all the other reasons I've had to go to the courthouse. But, that was
wah, wah, wah.
yes, that was scintillating radio, darling,
Yeah.
as always.
Well, you made it fun, though.
Did I?
Yeah.
I was over here. I'm still bleeding from this wrist, but it's okay.
Oh, whatever.
Okay. Jeez. We also have some little things we pick out of the news. And now, again, you can join us. Dr. Slay, I think, is still on the phone. Are you still with us, Dr. Slay?
Still here. I'm just wondering what you're going to do in that secret room. But anyway.
Nothing I don't do in the rooms that already exist. Yes, I'll be killing a cat. That's what I'll be doing. Whatever. But we do glean things from the news and so forth and make fun of popular culture and things like that.
Ching.
It's, yeah. How did you?
Such a geek. I can't believe I did that.
You're from New Jersey. We give you some slack. What Mattel has done, and in cooperation with, and this has just happened not so long ago, last month, I believe, they teamed up with Sports Illustrated and put Barbie on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
I saw that.
Wow.
Well, they actually decided they looked over the pool of possible featured cover models, and they couldn't decide. What the criteria is by volume, who had the least amount of plastic.
They picked Barbie.
And she won, yes.
That's great.
So, that was, if you have to determine who's going to be in the cover of your magazine, maybe you could do that.
Now, was that a true story? Or I know you probably made that up, but it could
very well
true.
be, yes.
Yes.
And I did find some things today that were fairly intriguing as well. And we're sitting here with laptops trying to find our way around. I did. What was that?
A slap.
Thank you very much. Like I don't get that enough. Now there is a new app for your Genius phone or whatever device that you happen to have nowadays. My phone is just a stick, a $20 stick that rings, and I can speak to people. They can speak to me. That's it.
And you can text.
Huh? Well, yeah, I can. But I'm not very good at it. Anyway, Madison, Wisconsin, they released this story about an app. Oscar Mayer, I think, has created this thing. There's a little plug-in for your phone, and
you plug it into the.
You can plug in a phone, and there's an app, and it creates the sound of sizzling bacon and releases the odor.
How does it release odor from a phone?
I'm sure there's a little insert in the thing, and when when there's current to it, it cooks little bacon strips
in what
inside.
Thing?
Whatever you plug into your phone. What am I, a scientist? Get off me.
What? So you plug something into your phone?
Let me read this for you, okay, Mrs. Jing?
I don't.
Oscar Mayer says that it's created a bacon-scented app for the iPhone, developed by the Madison-based company's Institute for the Advancement of Bacon. I love these people already. I am a huge fan of bacon, so I'm sorry, Dr. Slay, but I ain't giving that up.
I'm not.
The company said, I'm sorry?
I understand. I'm also a huge fan of bacon, but I just can't look at it. It's too much.
Me
too.
I eat it on a stick. The company says that to emit a small puff of reminiscent of bacon, they need an external device that plugs into the headphone jack, and the app itself produces the sound of bacon sizzling in a pan. So you get the sound and the aroma.
What's the point?
It's bacon. That's
it's
the
not
point.
Bacon, though.
It's a bacon-like.
It just doesn't that just make you want to eat bacon?
Yeah.
Well, what's the point then?
Oscar Mayer came up with it. Hello, what do you need, a house to fall on you? It's bacon. It's bacon. Need I say any more? It's bacon.
That's weird.
There's nothing in life better than bacon. I mean,
excuse me?
Well, I mean, on your phone. Let's see. Now that I dig myself out of that hole.
Really?
Well, what do you got? Let's see what you come up with there.
I'm still getting over this nothing better than bacon thing.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, that's a Todd Chapelle song. I love you more than bacon.
Right back.
I don't love you more than bacon, actually.
Well, thank you. It's no.
Okay. But anyway, speaking of meat, this is stories about meat.
All right, so we can see I've developed a theme, so at least I did something right.
I'm just good at segueing, that's all. There was no development involved.
227-1360 if you would like to talk about bacon.
I can't pronounce
okay,
DJing,
you have time
but
for
one thing. Okay.
Probably, yes.
Okay, so did you hear the story in Tampa, Florida, where this entire family, including a woman who was 9 months pregnant, went to the ER and they became ill after they ate steaks at Walmart, and apparently the steaks were laced with LSD.
They ate steaks at Walmart, or they took them home and cooked them?
They took them home and cooked them.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay.
They used an app to do it.
Yes, they plugged them into the phone.
Okay. So apparently it was tainted with LSD. She went into labor, or they what is it called when they initiate labor? When they initiate labor, they induce labor. I can't think.
It's called Jing.
Yeah, Jing.
Whatever.
And she was fine and everything. So all this
They named
happened.
him Timothy Leary. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So apparently Toronto Mayor Rob Ford, who we're all familiar with, was vacationing in Orlando, and he was at an interview, okay, and they asked him, like, so, you know, what do you think about this story? And this is what he said. He said, "That's horrible. Wow, poor lady. I'm sorry, what was the address of that Walmart again? I feel like some strip steak.
Walmart, Woodstock, whatever. Well, maybe the cattle just ate rye and it fermented.
Yes, that's probably exactly what happened.
That's where LSD
Nobody
comes from.
laced it with LSD or anything.
I have read Remington's Pharmaceutical Sciences, and I know for a fact that that's how basically it's.
I know for a fact now that you have no
raw
life.
alpha alkaloids and whatever. Anyway,
Okay, that's very exciting.
well, somebody has to know this. Anyway,
Jing. That's
Jing,
all I have to
yes.
say.
Who's Jing your wedding?
Jing.
Bring the guy with the
I'm
equipment to Jing the
never
wedding.
going to live that down.
Dr. Slay, are you still enduring this?
Wait a minute, my steak is moving. It's moving.
And talking to me.
It's Jing.
Amoeba.
Jinging.
Well, we do appreciate you hanging on and through this torture.
Hang on.
And we certainly appreciate all the information that you shared with us. That's always, we're going out almost immediately to get a copy of this book, and we're going to share it and do what it tells us
And
to do.
ignore everything
Sure
it
you are.
says.
Sure you are. Okay.
No,
Won't be
no.
laced with anything.
We're not going to eat the book.
Well,
We're gonna,
I'm probably following pretty close along those
Really,
lines
yeah,
in general.
Well, Amy, take a look and just look at and fine tune it. Watch that video, and I think you guys are 80% there, and you may want to go 100% there to keep this.
He's not 80%.
Around a little bit longer,
I need to
So
lose.
I'm thinking just got to wean him off a few things, and
Yeah,
your kids
I
are
know.
doing great.
Well, she's a wiener,
I
so.
think you're on the way.
Well, I got a couple extra inches around my middle, 2.5 extra inches around my middle. It's got to go.
so
So
do I.
that's something. Yeah, I'm not.
1 month, 4 weeks, you can lose it. I promise you that, and you won't count calories. No, none of that kind of stuff. Just bond together, decide to do it. Bring the kids in on the equation. Your battle buddy is sitting right there, Amy. She's going to keep you alive, and in the process, you're going to help the whole family. So. Give it a look and see what you think, and let me know. I love you guys. I think you're a riot.
Oh, thank you. Well,
Irreverent radio personalities. We need more of them.
Well, and it was such a delight to have you on. We all, I'm sharing a laugh, with our guests is always so much fun. Sometimes we don't get to do that as much as we'd like, and we certainly enjoyed your visit. Certainly come back and give us a shout anytime on a Sunday that you have some time. Drop us a line. Let us know what's going on.
I will do that, and thank you so much.
All right, thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Slay.
Have a
Everyone,
good one.
the Battle Buddy diet, please look for that. Get it, pick it up. It's good for you. And we would like to also say that next week we are probably going to dig up some surprises. We have kind of
I have some stuff planned
you?
already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have some new Netflix stuff.
That's right. That we have a collection of some things that we're going to spring on folks.
And some
next week.
Craigslist misconnections.
Yes.
They're actually real things. Ones that I found. I spent some time on Craigslist because that's like my favorite place to go.
Right. Well, I have been trying to keep up with the news. I saw actually on my. If you follow our Twitter feed, our Twit feed, whatever it is.
Twitter.
I tend to post little bits and pieces on there every day or so. The two I put on there today, and limited to 140 characters. This is an exercise in brevity. The first one, having been married before, I'm still trying to wrap my head around the concept of conflict-free diamonds. And the other one, Princess Cruises, competitor of Carnival Lines, has a new drink served on board, the Concordia. Basically, it's anything on the rocks. So those are the things.
That cracked me up. That
Just
was really good.
keep up with that. Go to Doc and Amy, or I'm sorry, at Doc and Amy Show on Twitter. Where I'll try to keep a few things going on there to keep folks entertained. You can visit us on the World Wide Web, www.thedocandamyshow.com. You can email us, get involved with our contests. Lots of good stuff there. You can always join us here on WNJC 1360. You can stream us if your computer isn't handy, and we would certainly love to hear from you when we join you again next Sunday at 5:00 here on WNJC. But for this week, we're going to say goodbye.
Bum, ba-dum, bum. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Bum, ba-dum, bum. When I need information, don't know where to go, there's a certain website that tells me what I need to know. What's the latest? latest baseball score? What's the capital of Pakistan? How did I find out my girlfriend used to be a man? I use Google. I use Google. I use Google. It's true. I can see my place from outer space. Google Earth is just freaking creepy. And I don't know what to do. 'Cause it's better than your